What's up? We should have started at noon. What's going on, everybody? You're looking at the track and trade charts. I'm still not going to use them tonight. I'm not ready yet, but he's actually track and trade is going to come on next Monday night on the call because they just came out with a deal for with Tradier. So they're going to come out next week and come on the call. So that'll be cool. You guys can get a view. Aloha. Yes, sir. Looks like gold's getting ready to make GLD's getting ready to make a move. Yeah. Not bad. Well, what's going on, everybody? You guys get it earlier and earlier. Yeah, good deal. It'll be 119, including the brokerage. That's pretty good. So a real barnstormer today. What are we gonna do tomorrow? Now are we waiting for the Fed or are we waiting for what? We know the markets want to go higher still. I mean that goes without question. And that's a good thing because we're so long in the portfolios. Yeah, the Frank was nice today. I used to make I made 350 in the Frank today. That was nice. First trade we've been filled on in a long time too. What's up? I know I always come in. I'm always watching, right? I don't know. I like talking. I like teaching. I like hanging out. So it works out good for me. I can't. I was mad when they wanted to be on CBC Asia. I'm glad they canceled it. I took a few bucks. I shouldn't. Well, again, it's okay if you tighten your stop, but again, you want to follow me or not? It's all right. Whatever you made, you made. You made a profit. That's a good thing. Profits are always good, right? Profits are always good. Equity portfolios are kicking some, you know what? So that's a good thing. So far, all is right with the road. My blood pressure goes up. Those 4 congresswomen are out of control. They're racist. That was going to be my bitch night, but I didn't want to get that political. They're racist. I mean, one of them hates Jews for sure. Okay. I don't know. They're racist. I don't know what else to say. I mean, it's kind of stupid. If you ask me. I mean, I don't know that President Trump should be getting involved, but he's right. You don't like it here, get the hell out. Who needs you? Right? Am I right or wrong? I mean, again, I know a lot of you don't like Trump, which is fine. Again, I don't care. You're all welcome to your opinion. But even those on the left, are you guys happy with the way these girls are talking? Okay. I mean, even you guys that are fans of the left side, which is fine. I could almost repeat that, but I can't. See, that's why I have to be careful when I have to read first before I say what you wrote. I mean, again, even if you're on the left, which many of you are, which is, again, that's fine. Listen, I'm really in the center, as I always tell you. Okay, I'm not on either side. I am really a libertarian. Okay, it's just like our financial system, right? It's just like Keynesian economics versus Austrian, okay, or Hayek. I mean, I'm not on either one of those sides. I'm somewhere in the middle. I'd like to take a little bit from that one and a little bit the same in my politics. I don't know why the social issues have to be so big into the politics, right? I mean, again, I think that should be, the choice. I don't know why one group has to say, well, we can only go this way, right? I don't know. I don't know what's happening. But again, in my opinion, I think those congresswomen are racist. That's my honest opinion. When they start talking about concentration camps, are you kidding me? You know, we talked about that last week a little bit. So I don't know. But anyways, we're here for markets and a little comment, a little bitching. But I tend to try to not talk too much politics because I heard an old time die hard down. I heard an old time die down say I would change the Republic this morning. They're losing people. Okay, you know, listen. I don't know if they're going to lose people or not. You know, I mean, it's an automatic guarantee that New York, California, Illinois are. I mean, I know there's more, but those I can remember off the top of my head are going to be blue no matter what. It doesn't matter. Okay, that's just the way it goes. Okay, and again, listen. I have no problem with that. That's why we can never go to a. That's why we can never go to. That's why we can never give up the Electoral College. Okay, so but hey, it is what it is. You know, it just a lot of it is very illogical. But again, so is Keynesian economics is also stupid. Okay, in full. I mean, again, there are some very good things there, but there's a lot of bad inside of it. And the worst part of it is the middle guys always get the worst end of it. No matter what side you're on, you always get the worst. Okay, you know, but the debt ceiling debate should be interesting now. Okay, because you know no longer do they have the power in Congress and the Senate to, you know, stick it to us as they used to do. Okay, they always, right? You know, the old story is they always at the 11th hour came out with a deal because they were figuring out a way to screw us the best way they could. Okay, but at the end of the day, you know, obviously we've seen it shut down once. I hope he shuts it down again, my personal opinion. But the only problem is it's coming up towards the election. So, you know, that's it. Illogical, not what's good for the country. Congress needs to be, well, the Congress needs to, look, Congress needs to be turned over, right? I mean, they should have term limits as well. I mean, we've got people in there that are Norman Bates' mother. Okay. I heard that there's a census. How about was about California? Yeah, of course. I mean, look, California is big and they deserve the electoral votes based on the quantity, but they don't deserve, you know, anything else. They shouldn't be able to control. Of course, wouldn't we want to control what they do within the rest of the country and be that much in debt, which we are, and 40% of their budget goes to illegal? Okay, I mean, again, hey, so, what do you think of the action today? Anybody have any opinions of what the markets did today? I mean, you'll get mine shortly, but I hate to double, and since we have some people that haven't figured out that I always start way early. I could have started right after Boomer Bust. Okay. It may never go down. You're the guy. Now it's ready to go down. You're the guy I was waiting for. The guy who kept looking for 1987. You're exactly the guy that I was waiting for, right? The guy who kept calling for 1987 as we went up 9 billion points is finally saying the markets won't go down again. So now you know we're very close to the top. Okay, that is an actual indicator. By the way, okay. Now again, it's not obviously you're not one vote, but you know when you start seeing that this time is different, the headlines in the newspaper, you know, markets keep going up, you know, whatever they are. Okay, that is typically a sign. Okay, it's just like when I read to you, I don't know about here. I'm going to tell you when I did it. Okay, I talked to you about the record shortage in grain markets right back around here. Okay, by hedge funds who typically don't get involved there, and I said probably the greatest buying opportunity because they're massively short. And sure enough, look what happened. Okay, so when you see. And when news gets too one-sided, that is typically the end of it, okay? And again, you know, it's the way that, because you know that that's where everybody is now. Also, if you can find out where the other side of the market is, where everybody's at, where the mass quantities are, okay, you can more better judge what the market's going to do next. Okay, we could tread water the Fed meeting. We might just tread water forever. I mean, you know, until the next big move. You know, it is the summer. Now, the last few summers have not been as dead as this one has started out to be. So it's hard to say, okay, you know, what we're going to do, okay, you know, from here. But at the end of the day, you know, it could be slow till the Fed, which is a week from Wednesday. Okay, it could be slow the rest of the summer. I mean, it could be just we're going to drift. You know, again, there's, you know, there's a lot going on, but there's nothing going on. I missed it. There was no archive. I wasn't there. I was in Las Vegas. I sent out a recording. I sent out a 20-minute blurb. What's up, baby? How are you? What's up, Rick? But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we tread water. Don't think earnings can hurt it. This market can help. No, the earnings can't hurt it because there's so much bull inside those earnings. You know, again, you're already getting my bitch early, but you have to get it twice for those of you who are here long enough. I just said this on RT TV on Boomer Buzz that the earnings, you know, listen, companies have learned that if they talk them down and tell you how bad things are going to be, you know, they were a one going in. Okay, you know, it's like a blind date. You know, everybody tells you the girl or guy you're getting fixed up with is got a nice personality, right? You know, whoever it is, you know, handsome or beautiful, whatever, right? And they build it up, and when you get there, you're disappointed, right? Because nobody can ever match the buildup. So they bang down their earnings and tell you how bad everything's going to be, and they give you all the reasons why, and then they come out with they just barely beat, but they beat their new expectations. Oh, everything's great. The world is fine. Okay. I had a great time in Vegas. It was fun. It was very exhausting for me though, because, you know, I have to get up at 1 o'clock in the morning while I'm in Vegas. In fact, Saturday night when we flew home, we were late. I haven't been to bed. I didn't go to bed till last night because I had to get a lot of stuff done. And, you know, because it's hard for me to work in Vegas with one monitor and one computer. Yeah, I had fun on Rocket Chat. I was doing it all day today too. You know, again, you know, if I'm on chat a lot, I'm not that busy. But you know, look, you know, earnings are going to be. I would say. Are you the one who told me that 20 out of 24 companies beat earnings already today? Are you the one who told me? And the bottom line is, I wouldn't be surprised if it was 75% beats. Again, it's a game. It's a game now. This is the game that they play. Okay. Oh, I know you're exhausted. Listen, but that's what you get paid for. Look, everything would have been fine, except obviously the time difference for me, because I'm very diligent about getting this stuff out on time. I could have waited and sent it out at 8 o'clock in the morning, but I can't do that. That's not who I am. But the real killer was the 3-hour delay in flight Saturday night. That was murderous. Okay, because that took a whole night of sleep away from me. We're all set with the hotel. Yep, I'll give it to you in a moment. I'll give it to you at 6:03, maybe 6:02. Well, U.S. companies are investing grinding out profit. I mean, I don't know how. Look, I disagree with you. I don't think U.S. companies are all that efficient. Okay, in fact, I would beg to differ and say that they're very inefficient, which so are the bankers and everybody else. Okay, how else do they end up with so overemployed when things are good? You know, I think that these companies all make the same classic mistake. Okay? When business is bad, okay, and times are tough, that's the time you should sit back and not be pounding on your employees to get more done, because there's not more to get done, and there's just times of the economy that you just can't get it done. The time you should be should be humping it is when they're all out celebrating and padding their expense accounts on the golf course. Okay. They should be, when it's rolling, you should be out working your ass off. Okay. When it's drudgery, that's when you should go out and have a good time, because there's nothing you can do about it. That's just my opinion. Okay. No, I don't think we're underestimating the software automation. I don't think we're underestimating anything. Listen, things will. That is on time for, yes, I know. Again, there's always new jobs that come out. Okay. And again, the big problem here is that a lot of them are not trained. This was the classic mistake that Obama made, okay, among many, but the classic mistake, or the worst mistake he made when it came to jobs, was when he shut down the coal mines. Okay. Again, I'm not saying we should have coal and that we have to continue to pollute the air. But what I am saying is that he should have given them time to re-educate many of the coal miners that didn't have an education to go anywhere else. Okay, that's the problem. Isn't that? I mean, look, the tobacco industry changed. Okay, big oil will change. Okay, because again, eventually, demand for oil will be lower. But they're giving these guys time to rebuild new parts of their business. Okay, I think that was the big problem we made with a little bit less brain dead. But I'm always brain dead though. Do I think U.S. care about their companies? No. The employees? I mean, some do. I mean, I do. Of course, I don't have any. Well, I do have 2 employees, or one. I have 1 employee actually. I care about mine, but most don't. Probably, you're right. Badger. I had dinner with him on. We had dinner on Wednesday and Thursday. We had dinner together, and he looked pretty good. And he was supposed to meet me Friday, and he couldn't get out of bed. He didn't feel good. He didn't feel good Saturday. And he just texted me today that he's got to get back to the City of Hope. He's really struggling. So that's again, I know obviously the disease he's got is brutal. So I don't know. Again, it could be any day. It could be he could live for another 5 years, 10 years. I don't know, or it could be he could go any day. Obviously I don't know. But it's very sad, and at least I was very happy I did get to see him, because actually, I don't know if I told you guys, but he actually called me 3 weeks ago to say goodbye. So I didn't even know if I was going to get a chance to say goodbye in person. So, but anyways, so hopefully, he's planning on coming to Vegas he lives there, but he's got a slot open to speak when we're there. So hopefully he'll be speaking. That's all I can tell you. Okay. It's sad, and we've been partners for 30 years. So, but anyways, so where was I talking before I interrupted myself? So training people to the afternoon. So yeah, I mean, that's what they do. Okay. Again, we had the Industrial Revolution. Now that was not as complex as switching over to the computer revolution. Okay. Obviously, teaching somebody to use a possible machine tool or work on a conveyor line. What do they call those? Assembly line. Okay. Is a little bit easier than teaching somebody code or that stuff. But again, if you give them enough time and say we get to learn, then at least the younger part of the group will learn it. Okay. If they want to be employed. And I think that was a mistake. But anyways, but there's a lot of things to do out there, but of course, then you've got the employees at Amazon that have the highest wage around for the type of work they're doing. And they're a couple of their warehouses are going on strike, on Prime Day, naturally. Okay. In the energy, they understand quality control on how to operate machinery. Yep. So, but I mean, back when the shale boom took off, they were giving jobs there. They were paying like 110,000 a year. In North Dakota, you couldn't even get housing. They were so swamped with people that wanted to work there, and they were hiring just about anybody. They wouldn't hire me, but they were hiring just about anybody. I went and applied. But again, earnings. I think tomorrow's what? Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan. JB Hunt knocked it out of the park today after close. JB Hunt. I think they're up like $6 after. I mean, they were when last I looked. Somebody had mentioned it to me. Let's see. Where are they at? Get up to 100. They're up 6. They were up almost 8. Okay. Well, so what? They all get destroyed at some point. I mean, at what time frame? I mean, the stock was a $27 stock. And it went to 131. Now it's 92. So if you bought it, it'd be in good shape. If you bought it in hedge, you'd be in better shape. So, in the meantime, we got about 5 minutes. I got to not stall, but stay away from my evening topics. But we will have next week. We will have a demo from Track and Trade next Monday, so he'll be on the call for a half hour, and it'll be $119 a month. But again, there's a difference with Track and Trade. Their platforms are different. So if you want futures and equities, you need 2 platforms. Okay. JB Hunt, beneath their numbers, it doesn't look rosy. What do you mean? They're doing great today. I don't understand. Can we make reservations? You can't make reservations yet, but I have a room. You're all set. Okay. I will get all the information and get it to you. Okay. You'll have it this week. Well, here's Track and Trade. Okay. Here's what it looks like. Now you can trade from here. Trade. Okay. You can trade right from the screen. They got a lot of unique features. The reason I'm not using it because I'm not that comfortable with it yet. Okay. I have been using it for futures though. Again, if you don't like it, look. All I care about for you guys is to save money. I don't care who you go to. Okay. I just don't want you to overpay. My biggest worry is that people overpay because they think they're getting something special. Okay. The early bird for Vegas is the first week of August is correct. What's do you say, Dale? How you doing? Yes, the first week of August, then it goes to normal, regular prices. But I will send out a link this week. They beat earnings. Easy to do if you project earnings below. Yes, exactly. You set the limbo bar so low, it's hard not to make earnings, right? I mean, let's face it. Like again, it's the best example I gave was a blind date, okay, or a restaurant or a movie. The movie is so great. By the way, I did see yesterday. It's kind of cute, enjoyable, nice to relax to. You like Beatles music? I mean, that's the first movie. It's the first movie I've gone to in, I don't know, 5 years maybe. I don't go to movies, but I was at the hotel and they have theaters there, so I went. Next week they're going to just do their equities, I think. But I can set them up to do both, but I don't want them to take up my time. I like my time. But I'll set them up with a futures one as well. But I mean, they operate similarly, okay, the execution part. But I don't trade equities the same way I trade futures, right? Again, in equities, I'm trading multi-leg stuff, okay? So when I'm using this platform, okay, I can just, click, click, and click, right? Versus doing something else. So again, it depends on what you're doing, okay? So I actually, so far, and again, I haven't gotten real comfortable with tracking it, but I love the TradeArc charts suck, but I love the execution platform. Okay. So you're talking about track and trade? The beta testing? They were beta testing. They're ready to rock. Yeah, they're ready to rock. They had to fix the options part of it. They had options, but I told them it's too difficult. I said, I can't, I would never use it for me. I'd have a nervous breakdown trying to figure out how to, you know, all these tricks. I don't like, you know, I'm not a fancy guy anyways. So I don't like all the, I like the old fashioned price ladders, which is, I guess, why maybe I like Trade Talk so much when it comes to execution. But he tells me it's going to be beautiful. So, and he knows what I want. So we'll see. Yes, I will. I'll use both. I mean, look, I don't mind using the platform, you know, as long as everybody uses both. You know, I used to have accounts everywhere. Okay. So you mean equities, you don't mean options. Well, I mean equity options. I don't trade the equities straight, and I don't scalp them like I do in the futures market. So, you know, I used to keep Fidelity and Schwab. I still have a Schwab account, but yeah, just so I knew and was familiar with all of them. But then, you know what? I'm not doing it anymore. I don't like to trade with them. I don't like to keep money there. So, and the only reason I'm at Schwab still is because I manage my mom. Her stuff's at Schwab. So. Quick portfolio question of Roy's. Most of my portfolios expire on Friday. Yeah, I know. You can use 30 days, but you're making a mistake. You're giving up too much edge. Okay. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow night. That's a discussion for tomorrow's training for the equity portfolio. But you're giving up too much edge. On the hedging cover, can I set up the hedge at one strike above? You can do whatever you want. Again, I gave you what is the most mathematically sound. You guys can do whatever you want. Okay. That's the end of the day. I can't discuss it because I get angry. Okay. I gave you what is the most mathematically sound. If you want to change it, feel free. Okay. I only worry about the math. Okay. And if it works mathematically, I'm good. That's all. Now you can check, but again, I get mad because again, you guys think I sit around all day and eat bonbons. Anyway, what's up, everybody? Welcome aboard. It's the Monday Night Call. If you're interested, there's about 30 minutes of me gabbing before this, but it is the official start time of the call. So what is going on, everybody? Where's Connie? Man, oh man, she's late. Oh well, I hope we may not have notes tonight. I don't know if anybody wants to take them, but she's not here right now. So, or maybe she is here. Wait, hold on. No, she's not here. Okay, well, I don't know if anybody wants notes. You better take them. Okay, because if she ain't here, there ain't no notes. Okay, but anyways. Well, they was pretty quiet and crappy, I guess. I don't know any way to describe it, but when I'm that active in the chat room, you know, again, you guys think I sit home and eat bonbons all day, and you know, I'm looking and checking things, and you know, again, I only give you what's mathematically sound. That when it comes to hedging, when it comes to everything we do that involves anything, it's always about the math. Okay, so again, obviously it's your money. Feel free to do as you wish. Okay, but at the end of the day, okay. You know, it was blind. Love it. At the end of the day, it's your mind. Do as you wish. Okay, that's all I can say. But again, I'm never happy about changing because I've spent thousands of hours running these models to get the mathematically sound part of it. But anyway, so Vegas, is it right time? Yeah, right on time. Right? I said 02. Anyways. Vegas is the D downtown. Okay. Cool hotel. Nice bar. Great room. I went and checked it out. So we'll be there. The room rates will be as follows. $24 a night for the room. Of course, can anybody believe that the resort fee is higher than the room fee? And it is. It's $25. So it's basically $49 a day for the room. That's what it's come down to. Okay, $49 a day. It's 24 and 25. You know that's their new the new scam in the hotel business is the all-in needed resort fee. Okay. So, anyways, so we'll be at the D. It's downtown. I'll send out a link with how to register for the hotel and all the stuff because obviously make sure you get the rate. But it's downtown. It's across from, you know, it's near Fremont Street, so you guys can have some fun and you know it's nice to go downtown once in a while. Robbery's intensive like mass stupidity. I can always count on you. Anyways, So I always give you my thoughts, and of course, markets are dull. I mean, look, at the end of the day, we have dull markets. What do dull markets typically do? They typically try to drift higher. Okay, why? Because there's always buyers. Okay, I love the, well, there's money on the sidelines. There's always money on the sidelines, right? And that no matter what the market is doing, there's always new money flowing in to be buying. Okay, they might be doing well, but the funds aren't the average guy who's investing in his 401k, they're buying all the time. Okay. So at the end of the day, okay, you just assume the markets will drift higher. Okay. Because that's what they should do. And that's what happens in dull markets. They drift to the upside. You saw it today. I thought we'd get a little pushback, and I said I thought we'd probably close a little bit lower. I didn't think that we'd go down a lot. I just thought we'd close a lower. Now we will have. I will guarantee, and I will bet, there will be a down day this week. Okay. I was hoping it would be today or tomorrow. I hope it's tomorrow, just because it would help our other positions. But that I will assure you. Okay. But new highs should continue. Again, there's no reason why. Nothing has changed. We can say that the markets are overvalued. We can say they're in a bubble. We can say anything you want. But at the end of the day, price determines the next move. And since our algorithms are all 90% long, I would have to assume it continues. Hold on one second. Now, the Fed meeting, which somebody mentioned earlier, maybe the markets are waiting for the Fed. I don't know. I mean, basically, a 25% basis is priced in. I know the street wanted 50. Hold on one second. One more second. One second. I'm actually talking to Chopper right now, or Connie. So, are we waiting for the Fed? I don't know. Could or could not. Again, I don't. I right now, there's just nothing to think about. There's nothing going on. So how long will it really last? Until it doesn't. That's the best answer I can give you. Okay. Nothing has bothered this market in 10 years. Okay. Now nobody knows. Okay, nobody knows what will be the one factor that will finally mean something, which is why we don't care about the news. This is exactly why we don't give a crap about the news, because who knows? Who knows? Are the banks going to fail again? Okay, is it going to be housing? Nobody knows it's really going to bother this market. Okay, volatility will increase. Will volatility increase this week? It should. Again, why are we taking? I don't understand the last word, so I can't answer your question. I don't know what that last word is saying. It could be too many different words. I mean, volatility could increase, but again, volatility increases on action. Okay, and when there's no action, volatility does not typically increase. Okay. Because we're trading weeklies, because we don't fight the trend. Okay, the trend is up. Okay, all it's done is make money. So why would I change the pattern? Again, this is the problem when you're trading a mechanical system and you try to change it. Okay, again, this is what I talk about all the time. We trade the portfolios, the couple of systems are all mechanical. Okay, if you're going to try to change them, then you shouldn't be trading a mechanical system. Okay, this is where Richard Dennis wrote. I could write the rules on the front page of a newspaper and nobody to read them. Okay, that's why we have rules, because there nothing changes what I do. All right, it is what it is. That's all. That I can only be there because you know what? I have to be dressed when the party goes. Okay, and the markets don't announce themselves. The rally could be over tomorrow. It could be over 10 years from now. I have no idea. Okay, so you can't decide what is what is going on. You can't predict, what the market's going to do. You have to just wait and let the markets do what they're going to do. Okay. So at the end of the day, okay, we trade the way we trade because that's the way we make money and that's the way we trade. That's the end of the day. Well, you don't need rules. The Fed cutting rates 25 to 50 basis points is about as effective as urinating into a hurricane and expecting it. You know what? Again, I don't like that they're cutting rates because they're giving up some ammunition if they need it later. I did not do the why yet. I was waiting for you. We're just going to keep it. Well, I think that if everybody had their way, okay, then they would continue to just to give away money and turn everything and turn it into a cashless society. We've talked about that before. In the meantime, the words of wisdom from our friend Connie, who is here. Okay. Fortune favors the prepared. Be ready. This is what we just talked about. It's amazing how the questions come right in time for the words of wisdom. We're always ready for what's going to happen. Okay. Does it always happen? No. But we're always prepared. We're always dressed for the party. And that's the all you can do is be prepared. Okay. If you're not prepared, then you can never be right. Okay? And that is kind of what we talk about on a regular basis, is being ready for what's going to happen next. Okay. Because we have no idea what's going to happen. But if we're prepared for it, then we can be ready to go. Okay. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Okay. If we can be prepared, that's all we can ever do. Okay. And as you know, I've been bitching for, I don't know, about 40 minutes now, but I got one more. Okay. BS earnings expectations. I already gave you a hint that I was going to do this, but again, they continue to tell you that they're going to do worse only so that you'll come and buy their stock when suddenly they magically beat it. Okay. So instead of them making the usual excuses that the dollar is too strong, this is happening, that's happening. Okay. And instead of that as an excuse, now they just give you crappy earnings forecasts and they blow them away. I mean, Apple has done this for years. Google has done this for years. I mean, out of all the earnings reports, how many times has Apple and Google ever missed? I don't think ever. Okay. So think about that. Anyways, so today, okay, today we were up. Okay, the Dow was higher by I don't know, 27 points. Like I said, it wasn't like it was even open. In the meantime, the Dow futures, okay, again, new highs. So again, do we really think that we can say, okay, it's not going to go up? Again, this looks like it wants to continue to turn higher. So once again, okay, last week we said, if you want to be a buyer, you could look at the 27,000 level or 26,750, whatever. In the meantime, it held support as it should have, and it took off to the upside. I'm not going to give you a sell level because that would be me trying to predict what's going to be next. And I have no idea what's going to be next. Right now, in my mind, the market keeps going up. Okay. Well, I'd like to see it go down. Well, yeah, but not because I care, not because I'm a bear. I'd like to see it go down because it would bring in some more volatility, some more action. Okay. But in the meantime, right now, if you want to get in, you really should only be a buyer, and that place would be about 27,000 now. So all that happened is the buy level, if you want to participate, is going up. The mini S&P. Okay. Let me just switch to this one. There's too much clutter on this one. Let me just actually switch to the September contract so I can take some of this clutter out. Okay. So again, we thought that if you wanted to play, you would be looking at around 2960. Okay. Oh, here's right here, 2960. Bang, bang. Okay. Again, now new support would probably be somewhere around 3,000, I would guess. Okay. Based on this chart, we'd be looking for 3,000. So we would suspect that the market's going to go higher. Okay. So again, I am not shorting it. I'm not shorting any of the indexes except possibly the Russell when we get there. But I'm not shorting anything really because there's no, again, why would I want to step in front of it when it wants to go higher? The captain said we're never going down again. So I got to believe him. The NASDAQ. November Quebec, if you care about the symbols. So we thought 7,700 was a potential buy. Never really made it down there. Okay. I don't count this. But here, so 7,800 held. So now the new level would be 7,900. Again, every chart looks the same. They just continue to ignore anything So this should teach you all a very valuable lesson, which I have said on thousands of occasions over the years. Turn off the damn TV set. Forget about what they say in the news. Forget about the Wall Street Journal. Anything you need to know is right here on the chart in the price action. That's it. Okay. Again, you can listen to these idiots all you want. Okay. But everything right here is price action. That's all that matters. Price determines the next price. In the meantime, look at the volume. We may go down to close pretty soon. Okay. So again, 7,900, no sell point. The Russell, Romeo Tango Yankee, Romeo Tango Yankee. Okay, so did find some support, right? Okay, right around 1560. Okay, which was exactly the number that we said. Okay, and we're churning, we're consolidating. Now, okay, I would certainly not really want to sell. I mean, I would sell a spike, let's say to 1600. Okay, that I would consider, which is the same thing I said last week. Okay, I would consider looking at 1560 as a spot to buy. Okay, again, I'm not particularly interested in shorting any of the major indexes right now because the algorithms are long. Okay, the markets indicate they want to go higher, and if they're going to be quiet, they're probably certainly going to drift higher. So why get it rammed in your face if you don't have to? But I would say this is 1560 to 1600, and I would sell a spike. But of course, I would sell a blow off in anything for a trade. Okay. Crude. Charlie Lima. I think we're in September now, I believe. I believe that the August contract is gone. Okay, so crude trying to break out back above 60 and keeps failing. So is this a false breakout? Okay, or is it going to hold and go higher? Well, the key thing is the key numbers to watch, probably 58. Okay, maybe even possibly 59, but 58 would be support, 60 would be resistance. So was all that's happened in the last week is we were 56 to 60, okay, and it went through 60 and came back. Okay, again, the algorithm is long here, so I'm not really interested in shorting it. Again, I have no problem shorting a blow-off move, but I'm not interested in shorting anything, just to say, okay, I'll make it short because I don't think it can go any higher. Because right now, it's going higher. So do I need, again, 60 looks like pretty good resistance, but I'd be careful. Okay. And there's a lot of, this has been a little bit more affected by some of the geopolitical stuff. Okay. So we'll say 58 to 60, I would rather you be neutral right now than anything. That would be my preference. Gold. Golf Charlie. Getting ready for a big move. Okay. Again, let's just take this crud off. Q19. Here. So what do we got happening here? Look what happened. So look at this. Bang. Look at this. Bang. And look at this. Bang. So this looks like it's getting ready to break out again. Okay. Again, it's making an ascending pattern formation. And I'm not saying it's going to break out tomorrow, but I did write today that I do think that the higher lows are in and the market breaks the upside. And I think 1500 is now in play. Again, it's got to break through 1440. Okay. It's had 2 blow-off attempts, but I do think even today with the action, it was pretty ugly all day and came back late. Now it's higher again tonight. So for my money, I'm a buyer now. Support is now at 1400. Okay. Obviously, there's some resistance right here, about 1430-ish. But if we can get out, I think it's got a chance to run to 1500. Okay. So I'd be a buyer at 1400. I'm not really a seller yet. The bonds, Zulu Bravo. Okay. The bonds, we thought 155 to 157, and they failed. Okay. And again, so now this was the classic example. Who knows what happened here with the bonds? Who wants to take a shot at what happened with the bonds? I'm curious if anybody caught what happened, because it's pretty cool from what we teach. Maybe you want to take a whack at it before I explain it? Blow up to the upside. Okay, I can live with that. That's not the answer I'm looking at. Those are all good answers. Okay, those are solid answers. That's not the one I'm looking for. Okay, but they're all very solid answers, and they're all correct. Okay, short squeeze could be. How about this? How about expectations? Okay, of a Fed. Remember the Fed spoke on today's this is Friday, Thursday. The Fed spoke here, okay, Thursday and Friday. I mean, Wednesday and Thursday, okay? So how about that the expectations for the 50 basis point rate cut was so big that they kept pushing the price up, just like they do for a stock for earnings. So market expectations were not met. So what happened? It fell apart. That's what I'm thinking, okay? So yes, the blow off is correct, but that was also combining with that the street's expectations were not met. The news came out, very good. Okay. So when I look at this chart, I'd say, 153, I'd like to be a potential buyer. Now, we just turned negative on the 30. We're now short on the 30. So now I'd rather be a seller at 155 versus a buyer. But again, for a trade, I would have no problem, trying to buy this support level. This looks like it should hold. We're still in a longer term uptrend, but that's where I would look at it. So 153 to 155. The dollar. So the dollar has been very interesting, right? We were bullish the dollar as it was going up. We bought it 88 cents. It went all the way to 98. We thought it was going to par. And then one funny thing happened on the way to the ranch, and bang, bang, down it came, and it held support. And I said, and I wrote this day, that it better hold here, or otherwise kiss it goodnight. Well, now it held the next level up. Now we're kind of churning in new levels. So now it looks like it has the potential to try to go higher. Now, again, we're long in the futures portfolio, the dollar. And I think the dollar is going higher. But again, you do have a lot of factors that are fighting against it. So, but in the meantime, I would not want to be an anxious buyer unless you're in the futures, obviously, because if you're in the futures, you're just trading the mechanical part of it. But if you're just trading it, I would look for a pullback and try to buy a heavy sell to the bottom, somewhere around, let's say 96.20 down here. And as far as selling, certainly as a trade, you could sell at 97.60. Of course, the euro currency, 6E. Okay, so we're kind of in the middle of consolidation and we're kind of holding. But we thought that 111 to 113, so we're a little bit above the 113. Again, if you didn't sell and you're looking to, I would sell at 113.50. Okay. Again, I think these are going significantly lower, so we'll see. But again, they are related. And again, of course, the volume is pathetic as well. The pound is getting pounded, right? Again, we're not going to trade this until after this Brexit crap is over. And that's only because, I trade it, but I don't want people to get involved that aren't quite comfortable with it. Because again, you could get a news item overnight that could obviously make this thing fly one way or the other. And if you're on the wrong side, it doesn't feel very good. And of course, the VIX failed at resistance, right? We broke down. So now the only good thing I can say about the VIX right now is it's kind of holding this lower level. Okay. It doesn't look good. It looks like it's going to fall farther. Again, I wouldn't be surprised to see a down move this week, and for a day, and that would be more profit taking. Okay. I don't see a volatility spike this week, but again, that's why we say the markets never announce themselves. We don't know for sure, because again, the news can come from anywhere. And if there's a major event somewhere, okay, something that was totally unpredictable, okay, then you could get a spike in volatility. But when I say a down move, I don't mean that. That doesn't think I mean that volatility is going to go crazy. Okay, I'd like to see it hold here. I know that the volatility will spike at some point. I know that we'll get back up to the 15, 16, 17 level, maybe higher. But right now, it just looks like it wants to hover around the bottom. Okay. All right. Hedge against the idiocy of political cycle. Guys that are buying gold right now because of the political cycle, guys that are buying gold to protect their portfolios, well, it's idiots. It's idiocy. That's exactly what it is. Gold, listen, I'm an owner of gold, and I believe in gold. But gold is not a hedge against anything, okay, but except currency potential, okay? It's a great hard asset to own, but if you're using it against your portfolio, you one day you'll be out in the street corner again. Okay. Protesters pulled down and defaced the American flag. Any opinions here? Okay. How about this in our country? Okay. I don't know. Not good. Prosecutors have dropped trunk organ identification with no charges. So, again, I know many of you don't like President Trump. I don't care. It doesn't bother me one way or the other. But at the end of the day, they keep bringing charges. They keep bringing charges, and they can't prove anything. They keep. So either he's the greatest magician ever, or he really didn't do anything. Okay. However you want to, however you want to look at it. Okay. But at the end of the day, okay. I mean, again, how many they're gonna? And now we got the jackass Mueller this week. Okay, who hates Trump as well. This ought to be a real barn burner. Okay. In the meantime, the retail apocalypse. 12,000 stores are going to close this year, worldwide. I mean, again, does it matter? I don't know. Amazon's going to do, I think, $6 billion in the next 2 days in sales. Somebody was saying today that they're going to do more in 2 days than JCPenney does in 6 months. Okay, and that Nordstrom's does in 3 months. Okay, so what can I tell you? I mean, again, does it matter? Obviously, right now it doesn't matter because the markets keep going higher. Democratic mayor bans ICE from city police database. I think her name is Lightfoot. Fortunately, I don't live in Chicago. I live on the outside of Chicago. But this is common in all of these sanctuary cities that they're trying to keep ICE away. Now, I don't know. Again, these rules, these laws were on the books long before. Okay. In fact, some of them President Obama passed. Okay. Yet the bad guy is Trump, according to Ocasio, Oman, and the other jackass, and everybody else too. I mean, okay, whatever. Chicago next Detroit could be. Look, I got news for you. The exchanges want out bad, right? They just can't wait for another protest, and then they will pull, because when there's no more traders left, they're gone, right? They'll have a little storefront that'll say the Chicago exchanges, right? And they're going to be in Indiana, paying no taxes. There's no doubt about it. Okay. I can't wait to get out. Believe me. I may sell my house and move into an apartment while I'm waiting. Okay. In the meantime, PPI for goods and services diverge. Hey, look, doesn't matter. Nothing matters. See, this is the point. Nothing matters. Okay. Because Jerome Powell caves in. Okay. So Jerome Powell is again, is he caving? I don't think so. Okay. I say it all the time, but I don't really believe it. I believe they think there's another problem somewhere, because in the history of the Federal Reserve, the sitting presidents have always been all over the Federal Reserve. You know, they all understand that cheap money makes the markets go higher. Higher markets lets them get reelected, right? Full of farting taking place on the basketball, the agency to distract the masses. Sanctuary is not no, it's not a good thing. Not a good thing. Okay. Fed Evans more accommodation needed to reach 2% inflation. I don't know. I keep looking at my bills. Okay. And you know what? I don't know. They're higher, and they're more than 2% higher. I don't get it. Okay. But maybe they should get rid of that broken Phillips curve they use, right? You know, maybe they should actually look at it in real. But of course, you know, they don't count the things that you pay for all the time. So this is another thing I never understood. Okay. I mean, they report monthly. So if food and energy is too volatile, doesn't that get updated every month as well? Traders are dumping hedges as currency volatility goes AWL. Okay, now, this is a sign, right? There was one that my biggest bear on this call said we're never going down again. I don't know if he was just saying it in jest, but I think he actually believes it now. I think he's getting nervous. But here's another sign. People that are taking off their hedges, okay? Again, when you start becoming overconfident, that usually indicates there might be something changing. Okay? Massive gamble on soybeans pays off for America's farmers. I don't know if it paid off huge. Corn certainly paid off. But yeah, again, listen, I always tell farmers, okay, when prices are ridiculous, if you can afford to store on your property and don't have to pay, then you should always store. It's like a bank account. Okay. There's no reason to dump it. The only thing you sell at ridiculous prices is A, if you need the money, or B, if it costs you too much to store it. Otherwise, you just hold on to it. Okay. Crypto carnage continues after earlier Ether flash. Well, you know, again, I own Bitcoin. I said it today on the update. Okay. I mean, I own others as well. I mean, I own more of the others, but I said in the call today, I said, look, it's a natural sell-off. Do I expect anything different? I mean, You know, look, all markets have sell-offs. This should not be a major surprise. The market has gone straight up since what, 3,500 to 13,000. Wouldn't you expect a sell-off from that? I mean, all you people on this call, I know you expected it. Okay, and look at where it stopped going down. It came down and filled this gap that it left at 10,000, and it bounced. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Okay, it's like a miracle. Okay, anyways, all right, let's look at some stocks. All right, Apple, Alpha Papa Lima. Wait, look at the mess I got. So last week we said, okay, 200 to 210. Well, 200, right? 200 came down to. Now we're at 205. So, and I said that 205 might be acting as a little bit of resistance. Now, again, I don't necessarily call this resistance yet. Let's see what happens tomorrow, right? I mean, again, I'm 200 to 210, all right? And I'm not anxious to go ahead and start firing away here, okay? I mean, again, the algorithms are long. The chart says that you should be long. Is there a reason that I should sell this? So 200 to 210, it stays. ABBV, Alpha Bravo Bravo Victor. We had 70 to 76. Well, here's the 70, a little bit lower, but there's the 70. Again, I think this level holds. I mean, part of this big sell-off, it was $1.07 for the dividend. Okay, you know, it pays a pretty juicy dividend. They've got earnings in a couple of weeks. Again, I'm a buyer at 70. I'm an owner. I'm a buyer. Okay, and at 76, you could look at selling it and take some profit, or take a short position. AMBA, Alpha Michael Bravo Alpha. Look what's happening here. You recognize the pattern? Anybody recognize this? If you do, from where? Quiz, pop quiz. Is the Apple chart the result of you being allowed to play in the mud as a child? I just like to draw everything in for everybody. I'll get Kat later after all the things done. You can ask me. You have to remind me because I know I'll forget. What does it remind you of anything? Have we seen this before? Anybody? Bueller? Indexes? How about gold? Okay. How about the gold? How about this right here? Bang, zoom. Okay. Apparently, it's going to go test the 48. Now, our levels really have not changed, but I would say there's now a greater likelihood that it sees 48 before it sees 44. It's still in this range, but I think there's a greater likelihood that it goes higher. Okay. Amazon, which we don't cover, but again, breaking out. Okay. So again, consolidating over 2,000. Again, the algorithms are along it. I mean, do you really want to get in front of this freight train? AMBA 44 to 48. Bubba, Bravo Alpha. Okay. So we said, watch the 168 level. Look at this. Came down, actually pushed down to as low as 165, like a jackrabbit straight up. And again, I would think 175 would act as some resistance. Okay. But again, I'm not overly anxious to try to sell it. Okay. I think that, we continue to watch it. And we'll see. Again, right now the algorithm is long this as well. So no reason for me to get in the way of it. I would say this would be 165 to 175. Chrome, Charlie, Romeo, Oscar, November. As I've said before, these stocks, I think these pot stocks only trade on news, and they just flush back and forth. They're really, I think, just waiting to get Fed approval so that they can be bought by many of the funds. Again, I think this is just a big pile of nothing. I own it, but I think it's just a big pile of nothing. 14 to 18 is all it's going to do until it gets some kind of approval and some kind of way to use it. Probably best, again, none of them if there was any different, I would change, but they're all really the same. I mean, so to me, I like the less expensive, easier one to trade because they all kind of act in the same manner. It's just Tilray. So again, I'd say it's 14 to 18. I'm not too excited either way. Facebook, Foxtrot, Bravo. Okay. Well, we thought 200, and sure enough, it went through 200, basically, like a hot knife through butter. Actually broke out through it, came back down, tested it, and is now higher again. So they can take all the bad news and all the stuff that's going on and say, okay, here we go. All right, wants to go higher. So it's got earnings, what, next week? Next week. So again, I would say now there is no, the support is 200. We're at the top. I don't have a top. Okay. I wouldn't even be looking to sell it. We own it, and it's long, and the algorithm's long. So why would I want to get, again, the question is, why would I want to sell it? Gilead, Golf, India, Lima, Delta. 66, bang, and here we are back up at 68. Going probably back to 70. Again, this just trades the same way, regularly, holds its levels, trades very well, trades very solid technically. I think you just follow level, you buy at 66, you sell at 70, and you make money. Google, struggling, it gets bad news, but manages to come out in the meantime. From its bottom, you could say that's fairly bullish. Okay. Again, I'm not saying buy it, and we don't even trade it, but I would look at, possibly, 1,200 and look for maybe a sell spread, because they got earnings too, right? Nothing from nothing. IWM, India Whiskey Michael. We called 155 and we called it neutral. Well, every day they touched 155. Okay. Now again, the only index that is shortable is the Russell, but it ain't shortable here. Okay. Again, I would short it on a spike, and we're going to get a move. I mean, again, last week, remember, we drew this in and we haven't gone anywhere from it, right? We're still around the nose. So we'll get a move here, whichever way it was. I would like to see it go up to 160 first and then come down. Okay. So we'll see. Right now, we have to be neutral, and 155 looks like pretty solid support. JP Morgan, they have earnings tomorrow, so they'll be neutral. Now, neutral or not neutral, I would be a seller at 118 tomorrow. Okay. I would be a potential buyer at 111. So I would trade the same levels tomorrow, and I wouldn't have any problem getting in. Okay. In fact, if it spikes to one of them, I might have to buy or sell the stock in the pre-market. Okay. Because again, I don't see any big deal either one way or the other. So it's 111 to 118. Las Vegas Sands, Lima, Victor, Sierra. 60 to 66. Okay. Now, there's still a little gap down here that's got to be filled, but again, similar pattern, right? Similar pattern. I would assume we're going to hit the 66 level. Okay. Again, if you're really dying to get in here, and again, no, I'm not dying to get in anything. Okay. If you're really dying to get in here, you could look at 62. Okay. For a move, for what the 4-point move. So 6%. Again, it could happen fairly quickly. So if you want to get in, I'm not recommending it, but I would just say it's 60 to 66 with some support at 62. If you're looking to get in now, I happen to be long it because one of the algorithms was long it. But other than that, I don't see much here. Michael Charlie Hotel India. Okay. So we said 58, okay, which held, okay, to 63 to 64, which is up here. Okay. And again, I don't see much change here. It held the support, which it should have, and it should probably bounce. Now, it should see some resistance around 60, but I'm not doing anything with it until it gets to 63 or 64. Because I don't hate, I actually like, if I can get the right prices, I like being involved with news stocks. Okay. In other words, this is not necessarily a new stock, it's an ETF, but it is China. So if there's good news, it could spark pretty good, and there was bad news, it could get hammered. But again, that would be, if I was long at 58, I would have no problem, okay, with any news that came out. Just like if I was short at 64, I'd have no problem. So we'll leave the levels the same, 58 to 64. Momo. Michael Oscar. So we thought 34 to 38. So what happened? We got almost up to 38. And here we are, just churning and burning right around 34, 35. So there's really no trade here. I'm long it. I own it. You all know. Okay. You can buy it at 34 if you want. But again, now you may want to wait. Again, if you're going to hedge it, it doesn't matter. Okay. If you're just going to trade it, you may want to wait because it's got to break out before it's going to go anywhere. So right now, it's really just kind of stuck between 34 and 35. So there's really no real reason to trade this right now. Okay. Now, again, if China deal settles, something happens, it will spike higher. But if you, again, that's if you want to gamble. I'm not recommending it, but that's, again, I never like to gamble into markets that are really dull because the payoffs typically are not there. So there's not a reason to take a shot when there's nothing going on. Okay. Now, if you see something start to go on, you may want to look at it. You start to see volume, pick up all of them. But in the meantime, right here, there's no trade. MU. Michael, uniform. Okay. So we thought 42, right? Now, again, we wouldn't have shorted it. Why? Because it gapped over 42 and it's gone nothing but straight up. So now, let me just stretch this chart out for a minute. I don't want 1 minute. I want 1 year. There we go. So we're breaking out. It looks to me that the next real resistance is probably 47 and change. Okay. Now, if it continues at this pace going up, I would certainly look at 47 as a spot to short it. This would be when I would short only because how fast it's gone up. Okay. It has nothing to do with what I think about the company, but the chart pattern tells me that it's probably a little bit overextended here. Okay. So I'd sell it at 47. You can look to be a buyer potentially back at 42. And I know we don't cover Netflix anymore, but I just, again, when I look at this chart, somebody said this morning that it was down huge. But really? It's not even down, it's not a couple of percentage points. What's the big deal? Okay. Trying to support. It stopped going down right where it should. They got earnings on tomorrow? No kidding. I didn't realize. What's the date today? 50? Oh, this is Wednesday, right? Wednesday after the. Oh. I mean, it stopped right where it should have stopped. You can do a risk reversal in MU if you want. I mean, I wouldn't do anything here. I don't see any reason to do anything here. I mean, I'd wait. Again, when markets are quiet, you want to be as patient as you can. Nugget, November uniform, golf, tango. So 23 to 29. So we're back up there at that resistance level of 29. However, okay, again, and I said I didn't want to sell it, and I still don't want to sell it. It's starting to make that same kind of action. Now, again, it doesn't mean it's going to go higher for sure, but the action suggests that it's got a greater probability of breaking to the upside than it does to the downside. Plus the fact that the algorithm is long this as well. So again, 29 is a little bit resistant. This is at resistance, but if it breaks out, it could get loose. So there's no reason that I can see that I'd want to be a seller here. I would look at, 28 to potentially buy it. Okay. But I think I'd be more patient and hope for a pullback to 26 if I wanted to get in. NVIDIA, November Victor Delta Alpha. So we said 155, okay, to 165. So 155, right? Okay. And bang, right to almost 170. Okay. So again, really just stuck in this range. It looks to me now, it's probably 155 to 175. Okay. It's just in this big wide range. If you don't think you can do that, well, hell, the stock averages, it's got an 8 to 10 point move price into it already, which could take it either direction. Okay, so it's 155 to 175. You see what happened to Overstock? I know we don't cover it anymore, but you see, told you something was going on there, right? I said you can only play it as a gamble. It's not worth covering. PNC, Papa November Charlie, they have earnings when? What, Wednesday? Okay. So we're going to be neutral. Okay. And who knows? 138, no resistance is what I said. So there's really no resistance. I mean, I could make a case for about 143. But again, am I in a hurry? No. I'm in no hurry to do anything. Quebec. We thought it was like 188, which it was, and we thought 199 might slow it down. Did not. New highs, continuing higher. Again, any reason to get involved? Nope. Neutral. Roku's been a little bit of a wild puppy the last couple of days. Okay. So we thought it was 95 to 108. Now we didn't get back down to 95. Okay. So now it looks like, okay, 100 is holding. Now again, this is the opposite formation. Okay. Again, I'm not negative. I'm long Roku, but I mean, this is not as positive as you'd like it to be. So the key for this stock is to hold the consolidation level and go sideways without going down. Okay. So you'd much rather see it stay in this range or break up, obviously. But again, I'm not really looking to sell this at all anyways. And I'd be watching 100 for a potential spot to get back in. SCO, Sierra Charlie Oscar. Well, I thought 17 might be a buy. I guess I was wrong. Wrong, Sparky. Okay, so again, right now oil wants to go higher. So I'm definitely a buyer. I'm a 100% buyer at 15. There, I don't care anymore. I mean, I always care, but there I'm a buyer. Okay, at 15. Until then, I'll watch. I'll look. We'll see. I don't know. Me and Jackie Mason, I'm not sure. All right, so I said, out of this pattern, we're going to get a breakout in the spider, Sierra Papa Yankee, and bang. There, now, I didn't know it was going to go up, but there it is. We assume markets go higher until they don't. And right now, they're going higher. So typically every big move is with the general overall trend. Okay. So we said, neutral, nothing to do. Well, I'm going to say the same thing this week. Okay. In these indexes right now, if you want to get in, you can only really be a buyer. Okay. I mean, from a trading perspective. Square Dance, Sierra, Quebec. Now, this is not a very good way to solve a blow-off, right? Look at this. Look at this. But of course, the volume died down. Okay. But again, this has resistance up higher. But is it really worth trying to sell? Now, we happen to be shorted from the Saturday call, but we didn't get shorted. We just turned the position in that we had. That the only possible salvation was to turn into a synthetic put, which we did. But again, I don't see anything to do here. I would say probably, as a crow flies, as I look at it, I would look at it at 80 as a potential, but not real comfortable. And then again at 78, okay, and not as comfortable. I'd be happier at 74 again, okay. But this did trade exactly as we predicted for a while, and now it's breaking out to the upside. See what happens. Basically, in the meantime, watch 80, but neutral. Sierra Tango Zulu. Okay, so what do we say? There's nothing to do. Let's be neutral. Okay, wait and see. Well, we have the same wait and see. Now, the only case I can make here, now we can't trade from this, but this can give us a little bit of an education of what the market may be thinking. Okay, so we can't really trade it, right? There's nothing really to do. So we need to see, but it looks to me that it's going to break to the upside. Okay, now again, I'm not buying it here, because I don't buy them when they're at resistance. I need to buy it back when it comes back to support if it finds a breakout. But it looks like it wants to potentially break higher. So we're still in a wait and see. Sierra Whiskey Kilo Sierra. Okay. So we thought the 78 would hold, and it did, like a champion. And here we go. Now it looks like we're going back up to 85. Okay. In the middle, there's really no trade right here. You can look at 80 on a little bit of a pullback, but it looks like it's going all the way back up to the top, and it looks like it's to be in this range. So we'll make it 78 to 85, okay, like it was last week. But there's really not much to trade here. You can look at 80. That might become new support. If you're superstitious, what about the hanging man on square? Are you talking about a candle? A candle man? Are you a candle man? Is that a hanging man? Is that what that is? I thought that was a hammer. I thought that was a hammer. Okay. TNA. Tango November Alpha. Okay. Neutral. Right. We were 60 to 66. It's still 60 to 66. But again, look at the tight pattern. There's nothing really to do here. Oh, hammers on the bottom? Oh, okay. I didn't know that. What's on the top? It's called something, isn't it? Is that called the hanging man? What's on top? I thought the hammer was on top. So we're still 60 to 66, nothing to do, neutral. TQQQ. Okay. Again, this is like the rest of the indexes. It just wants to go higher. This is obviously a bullish ETF on the Qs. We're going higher. Is there a reason for me to get to short it? No. I mean, when I buy it, I would look at it at 66. I mean, we do have it in the futures portfolio and the equity portfolios. Be neutral. Tesla, oh my goodness, what happened? What happened, Sparky? Must have been some good news. Elon must be doing his best. Okay. I never thought it'd get past 240 again. All right, so now, look, it's out. So as bearish as I can be, I can't sell this again until it gets to about, close to 270. Okay. 240 to buyer, 270 seller. I'm not a buyer, but that's the numbers. 240, 270. Twilio, Tango Whiskey Lima Oscar. As I said last week, we were bullish. Okay. With all the, we're going down. I said, it looks like we want to go higher. I mean, look, again, we're still following this general path. Okay. There has not been a day other than here that has closed outside of this range. Okay. So why would I expect it to change now? I have no expectation of change. I would say that we've now got probably higher support. I mean, if I were going to look now, I'm looking at 140, probably 142. You're going to be a buyer. Certainly can't be a seller. And I expect Momo to do similar. Now, remember, we started buying this at 25, I believe. VXX, Victor, X-ray, X-ray. Okay. Look, at the end of the day, we said that 25 was a potential sell, and here it is. Okay. Again, it will pop. At one day, you'll walk in, and it'll be up huge. But for now, it's going lower. So again, should we determine that it's time for volatility? And the answer is no. I mean, again, certainly if you said to me, I want to take a shot and I want to buy some inexpensive calls on VXX, I could live with that. I have no problem taking that kind of gamble here because, again, all that's going to happen, you're going to get time decayed out. You're not going to lose much. Okay. So if you're willing to take that risk, hey, I have no problem with it. Okay. Because that's a reasonable spot because it doesn't have to be a down market to get a spike in volatility. That just helps. Okay. Elon must have come up with crazy stuff. I'm sure he did, Elon. Okay. So again, volatility looks horrible. XBI, X-ray Bravo India. So we did 83 to 88. Well, we got almost met both sides. Look what's happening here now. We're getting a little bit of some action here, right? It's going to make a move, but right now the ranges are still 83 to 88. Nothing has really changed there, right? I mean, again, we don't want. One of the things we can't do is we can't force our opinion into a chart or onto the market. You have to read them with no opinion, okay? Because if you read them with an opinion, I can always convince you of any chart pattern. Okay? It's just not the point. That's not what you're trying to do. Let me look at CAT, Charlie Alpha Tango. It looks pretty good. I mean, nice little pop. I mean, pretty solid resistance is coming up to though. I mean, probably 140 should be. Oh, they got earnings okay. That's next week, right? Again, this would indicate to me that they assume, which I assume myself, that the China deal is going to be done. Okay, maybe they have some inside information. They think it's going to be done faster. Okay, again, that would be tying with the grains and everything else. Okay? But again, if I own this, well, first of all, I'd roll it up if I owned it, right? I'm not really gung ho for shorting, but certainly this could be a shortable candidate if you were looking to short it. But I'm not really looking to, and I don't think that you're looking to short it for the next 5 days. And you certainly don't want to be shorted going to earnings, even though you could be right. So basically it's 132 to 140. But, again, only the blow off pattern would keep me from being more bullisher. I would think you'll see some sort of a pullback. Visa, Victor, Mr. S from Texas. See, I gave you good instructions today on this. Again, breaking out, continuing to uptrend. Now again, My concern here, and again, I don't think it's going down, but my concern would be just the change of pace and the speed that just went up here recently. I would expect it to pull back to some point. I would assume that if it's going to continue bullish, this trajectory will continue, okay? And that either it will consolidate and then it will catch up to the trend, or it will pull back like it's done here, okay, and come back. In the meantime, I'd look at 180, but I'd rather be a buyer at 180 for seriously like next week. Like right here, like if it's at 180, I'd like to be a buyer there. Okay. What was your other one? PayPal. Papa Yankee, Papa Lima. Looks like American Express. I mean, like Visa. I don't know. I mean, again, I hope you own it. If you don't own it, I can't be a buyer here unless you're going to buy it and hedge it. But I couldn't be a buyer here. Okay. But it certainly looks awfully good. China Mobile, CHL. So Charlie Hotel Lima. This looks pretty good, Judy. I mean, again, I think it looks fine. I mean, certainly if I were going to play it, I'd be a buyer. They don't have weekly options, so that eliminates from my personal trading. But certainly this looks like a little bit of a blow off, but it came off a support, which is pretty cool. They pay good dividend or anything? Is there any reason for me to want to think about owning this? 4%, not bad. Again, I think it looks okay. Certainly a China deal would take this all the way back up again. So, and I think there's going to be a China deal. The question is, do you have the capital and do you want to wait and hold and sit back with it? But certainly I could see this as a potential. Okay. I was on, actually, Chops, I was on for 30 minutes before you got here. You really missed nothing other than my usual conversation. You owe me no pretzels. I owe, but you can deliver to my guy in Texas that I owe for forever. I mean, how many years am I in this now? About 3? It must be, him 1,000 pretzels. 5. I mean, again, this isn't one I play, but I think it's probably 130, 130, 120. I mean, if I were going to play it, I'd be looking for a spot to potentially buy it. Okay. But I don't trade it. Okay. Never have. But certainly, I'd say 120 should hold. Cliffs. What is it, about $2 stock now? Cleveland Cliffs? Oh, it's up to $10? No kidding. What happened? Last time I looked at it, it was about $2. I mean, look, I would never trade this. I can see right away I'm never trading this because of the small increments on the side. In the meantime, certainly looks pretty solid. It's got a fairly bullish formation right now. I mean, 1040, 1020. If you're looking to get in, I have no problem with that. I mean, again, I would trade it. I have traded it in the past. Small yield. Again, I think it looks fine if you want to trade it. I mean, it looks like it wants to go higher, but I don't see the real benefit here. But certainly, it looks okay. Okay. All right. So again, really, it's just going to be quiet. Again, the market doesn't announce itself. One day it's going to get busy. When? Could be tomorrow. Could be next week. Could be a year from now. We don't know. So we don't want to predict. We want to continue the same path, which is to follow the footprint, to continue to stay tough and not expose yourself into a market that you're giving up the odds. Okay. And because when the time is right, you want to have plenty of shells to fire. Okay. So at the end of the day, AX, I got to do one more for my pal. AXSM. That's pretty good. On support, going higher. I mean, you look at, if you want to play this, I mean, certainly, I hate this. Okay. Certainly, it's a buy. Okay. Probably even right around here. Okay. Maybe you want to try for 25 or you can buy it sooner. But it looks pretty damn good. No yield though. But it looks pretty good. I mean, again, looks like it wants to go higher. So I would certainly have no problem with being a buyer here. Thanks, man. You're a good dude. More harassing to come around. I can't wait for the harassing. Thanks, babe. How much is the early bird going to be? It's $11.77. Okay. It's already out. The link's out. You can get it right now. Okay. And the regular price is $17.77. Okay. And I'll send out the rooming information later. In the meantime, everybody have a great weekend. Again, be careful. There's no reason. Look, I say this every day in the updates. No reason to be overly aggressive here because you're not going to be rewarded. You're aggressive when you can get rewarded for it. Okay. That's the end game. And that's what we're always trying to do. Put ourselves in the best position to make the most money. I'll email the link out again. Thanks, Barry. All right, kids. If you have questions for tomorrow, yes, send them. I send out an email that asks requested questions for the portfolios. Yes. If you have questions, send them in because I want to address them, but I think we're doing pretty damn good. So, all right, sports fans, have a great night. We'll see you. Oh, wait, one more here. What time you picking us up at the airport in Vegas? Yeah, I'll be right there. Same time I pick up anybody. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a great week.